The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of restrictive content warning or any sort of warning as to what may be in the game. From what I have played so far, it doesn't seem to have anything worrisome in terms of age-restrictive content. So if I were to guess, if it were to have an ESRB rating, I would say most likely it would be rated E for everyone. So following that guess, and having never completed the game, I can't say exactly the whole of it just from my experience, but I would say that anyone under the age of 6 should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is of course my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Autonauts. No, that's still a completely different game. Oh yes, you do build a colony here. The premise of Autonauts is that you are sent to an alien world to build a colony. And while you can harvest every tree, process every log, build every hut and workstation, grow every piece of food and other materials that you need to sustain and expand said colony, you don't have to. Rather than maintaining everything else, you can build an entire army of programmable robots to basically do all of the repetitive menial tasks for you. Yes, this is the one where I constantly joke about the robots possibly revolting and overthrowing my benevolent but still totalitarian rule, and taking over to build a civilization onto and for themselves. Yes, that is a joke. Mainly because I don't believe that the developers have programmed this game in that way. At least not yet anyway. I do recall seeing a news article on their Steam page from the developers hinting that they may be developing, I'm not certain if it's going to be DLC or an add-on or a patch or a separate entity to the base game of Autonauts, but they do plan on having some sort of hostile group, possibly of robots, possibly of some other type of creature, somewhere on the map that you would have to defend against, using, of course, more robots. But I haven't seen or heard anything about that other than that one article, and I don't recall exactly how long ago it was that A, that article was published, and B, how long ago it's been since I've read it. But I do know that it was there. I just don't know if it went anywhere. Well, no, I haven't actually seen anything in the game, nor do I recall any major updates to this particular title recently, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist in some form, just that I haven't been made aware of it. Yes, that is a prime example of how out of touch I usually am in regards to news for anything. But that's a moot point. As such, this game was, of course, made by. Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin.
Okay, so here we are back at the colony. As far as I know, it doesn't actually have a name, and as far as I know, I can't actually give it one. So I planned on working on the colony between episodes. Like usual, I got distracted by pretty much everything else and never got around to it. So the colony should be at the exact same state that it was where I left it. Basically, the wheat farm being overflowing because I've maxed out straw storage, maxed out cereal seed storage. Uh, the lumberyard is in back and forth between being almost completely clear cut to being a dense forest. At least the berry and mushroom fields, their recharging robots haven't completely run out of power. Hopes that there's now 2 of them. The apple farm I keep forgetting about. And of course, what's now the new location for Maternity Wardens is still only about half built, although I think this one robot's still cranking away the crates. Oh yeah, and the weed farm
Don't read too much into that.
is basically having a supply crisis. Because every time they haul 4 in, this guy comes and hauls 4 away. Because the main primary method of food creation I have right now, I gotta learn to not click on things. It requires weeds for pretty much everything. In fact, the only thing that doesn't require weeds is, I believe, the runny forge. And I can't make runny forge because that requires pottery, and I don't have access to pottery yet. I'm working on it. It's on the to-do list. Once I rewind you. Now, I can technically upgrade the crude mixing pots. I don't know if that's going to change how things operate. In fact, that's the incubator. Okay, it's just a crude mixing pot. I guess I actually have to upgrade it directly through here. And I'm probably going to have to clear the workload first. Also, spare Mark Zero robots just sitting around here. Alright, so my plan is, as usual, to start something new, and the pin plans that I have is I need to keep cooking, which basically all I have left for that is to build the crude cooking pot, which I believe is the upgrade to the crude mixing pot. I also need to start a palm tree farm, as well as a carrot farm, and then complete 3 more science projects, and possibly build the research station. I don't know why that's flagged red or not. I don't know if it's an upgrade or something. But those are all the pin plans that I have access to right now. If I look at the Autonautopedia, that's really all the current plans I have available. I mean, I have... Oh no, this one's already completed. So say I have this one, but that's making cereal crops, and that one I already have. Yeah, so the next plans I need cooking, research level 2 cooking technology, which gets me baking, or at least gives me a plan for baking, and then pottery, which is currently being made. So, in addition to the supply issues that I'm having, I'm going to need to figure out where I'm putting everything, because as I build new stuff, I need to account for where all the new stuff is going. That's another thing of play I didn't see before. But this was the only one I had. It's a pig. Interesting. Alright, so I guess I really should get started on doing something. Just haven't quite figured out what exactly yet. So, where is... I am actually out of poles. And planks. Huh. And logs, for that matter. Definitely need to worry about a supply. Definitely have supply worry issues. Alright, so let's go over here because this space right in the middle of everywhere is just too small. I mean, I'll still have uses for it. I'll still need the resources and various things that I built here. But if I'm going to expand big time, or at least in the big term, massively, I am going to need more space, and this is space here. What is this? That's a stone deposit. Okay. So I guess first thing I need to do is to, well, see what's here. It's also literally the edge of the map, so I can't get much farther than this corner. So right now it doesn't seem like there's much of any interesting or hey wow I've never seen this before type stuff. It's basically more trees, some wildflowers, more berries. Now the ocean, or sea I guess it is. And what is this? Trace metal ore deposits. That's probably going to be important sooner rather than later, well, eventually. Because ore most likely means metal. And here's some coal by the looks of it. Not that I can use coal anyway, but I guess it's good to know that it's there. This is more stone. It's a big old rock. Another source of fresh water right here. Mostly empty space. Oh look, more cotton, and of course I find weeds here when I went off in the wrong direction, found them, I guess about the same distance. Yeah, more swamp tied in with the fresh water. Some bulrushes. That cow right here. Some more clay deposits here. Some more trees. Still more trees. Big old rock. Grass. And another cow and another big rock. Some more stone deposits. Again, the edge of the map. Oh look, bees. That's interesting. Alright, and apparently I mined 2,000 minerals. Didn't even realize it. More bees. Some sand. More grass. And a sheep. Several sheep, actually.
rock, get some more clay, some more grass, more trees, another beehive. Alright, so that's this corner of the map fully explored, or at least what passes for fully explored. So, now what? Now I expand. At least try to. They burn through all the mushrooms. Interesting. And you're actually out of power. Okay. So why are you holding a power upgrade? But I think that's just what's currently installed. So where am I? But then I realize I'm still off in the middle of nowhere. And my lumberjack team is currently out of power. I would say they're back up and running, but no, I missed two. Now they're back up and running. Okay. Okay, so I am running low on, well, practically everything. I'm low on mushroom, I'm out of mushrooms at the source, out of mushrooms at the cooking area. I do have a fair amount of herb mushrooms, so they should be good for now. Berries I have a ridiculously large supply of constantly. And wood is, again, halfway being clear cut. So things are actually getting worse as opposed to better. Okay, where is the bot that's... Okay, so first thing I'm going to need is to build this bot assembly unit, so that way I don't have to drag all the parts all the way up here. And that requires 2 logs and 3 planks. Okay, so he's hauling the gears down here. Alright, so I want a standard bot. In fact, I'm going to need 4 standard bots. I'm also going to need 4 power upgrades for what I plan on doing. I like how no matter what order you put the pieces in, they still end up right side up. So you get plugged into here. Alright, so since wood is basically for right now the basis of everything, and the basis for everything has been completely clear cut, for all intents and purposes, the first thing I'm going to need to build add-on extra to is probably a new lumber yard. So that's what Mark 1-46 is going to be for. Problem is, there is no... I would say that there's no massive area just to build off of, but, you know, there's clumps of trees all over the place. Alright, so first thing I'm going to need is, I'm going to have to tame the wild and basically civilize it. Even though that's not really a concept that applies right here. Because civilizing something basically means giving it a civilization, and you can't really do that for something that isn't sentient. Even though I'm sure people will probably think that they can. So, first things first, we are going to need an axe. So just put the whacking stick back, grab the axe, grab an axe for the new robot. Alright, this is what I want you to do. We're going to go a lumberjacking. Right, you did not see that, so let's try this again. We hit record. We go lumberjacking. I need you to find the nearest tree in this area. This 15 by 15 area. Do I want it lower? It would buttress up with this area, so... So yeah, every tree... Let's put it down here so that way I can just bring it off here. So every tree in this 15 by 15 area I want gone. You do this forever. Actually, no, you do this until hands empty. Almost forgot, axes break. At which point you come back over here. Sure, there's a whole pile of bot parts over this way. Also, I mean, but then you grab a new axe. And then you do all of that forever. Now go. Right, while he's doing that, I build yet another robot. Right, already has a drive. So Mark 1-46 is joining the Lumberjacks. Now, I could technically get rid of the old lumber yard and just basically take it apart and repurpose all that and just have the Mark 0 bots do nothing. But for right now, it's a quantity, not a quality issue that I have. So I'm actually going to leave this lumber yard be, at least until I can get this one fully set up. And even then, I might actually still leave it alone. Alright, so what am I going to have Mark 1-47 do? I mean, if I'm keeping with the lumberjacking theme, once all the trees are cut down, they are going to need to have somebody to basically dig holes to plant new ones. But for right now, I gave him one, alright? Yeah, it's got a power upgrade already. What I want you to do is to come over here, grab all this turf, find all the nearest dug turf in this 3x3 spot, just in case I'm missing it. Centered right here. I'm going to do this until hands full, at which point you're going to come over here and just drop it off. Alright, you're going to do that until hands empty, and do all of this forever. Now go. Now, I'm doing this just to get the turf down here so that we don't have to walk all the way up here to do that. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want to use the turf to section off where the new tree lumberyard is. So if I look at 46, I need to basically take this line, make a whole pile of turf and drop it off here. You know, I probably should have put that in the corner. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong button. I didn't even know that was a hotkey. Or not. And then once I section off where I want the tree farm to be, I am going to, well, dig up these sections and then actually build the farm proper. Or, I guess you could say it's a tree farm. Just getting everything out of the way so I can see it better. Also, probably gonna need to get rid of this tree. Then get rid of this stump. And then fill in this hole. And then my personal shovel broke, but you know, tool seems to be the one thing I don't have trouble mass producing. Why is there an egg just sitting here? You know what? I don't want to know why there's an egg just sitting there. I kind of know why there's an egg just sitting there. Why did I do that? Alright, well, he's actually done. Sort of, kinda ish, maybe, but not really. Although there are only 4 apple trees, and they're still gonna have to be gotten rid of. But I guess I can do that personally. Alright, so he's still dropping off turf. Yeah, for a long while I didn't think I would actually find a use for all the turf. I still probably won't. As I still have this massive stockpile, and then these 2 storage things just full of turf. Alright, you know what? Gonna have you stop. sit back down real quick. Now go grab a shovel. Alright, so now you record. Drop everything you're currently holding. It doesn't look like you're actually holding anything. You take this. Because this is what I need you to do now. I'm going to come here and dig up all of these stumps. You do that until hands empty, and you're going to do that in a 15 by 15 area centered right here. And once your hands are empty, you're going to come back here and grab a new shovel. And then going to do that forever. Now go. And now I don't need them to do any other turf gathering because there's still sections of turf inside the new tree farm area that I can just easily transplant. Thusly. Just going to what, 1, 2, 3 squares? So Mark 1-47 is now part of the Lumberjacks as well. Take these 3 things of turf, put them here. Then, I'm gonna grab my shovel back and dig up these chunks of turf. Alright, so I'm just gonna pile them there for now, but let's actually dump them back over here. That's everything, right? Yeah, that's everything. As I just leave the turf where I rooted them up, the game will eventually remove them. And, I don't like losing possible resources. So now it's time to build another bot, because now I need to fill in all these holes. So I need another shovel for you. And he's actually running low on power, and I do not have a recharging bot here just yet. Of course, since I decided all the Mark 1 recharging bots will be using the variant color scheme, or design scheme I should say, and I don't have those being mass produced just yet. It's something I'm going to have to make by myself. So did I give you a shovel? Yes, I did. Alright, so here's what I want you to do. I'm going to record, I'm going to come over here, and fill in every hole that you can find in this 15 by 15 area. It's going to be right here. You're going to do this until your hands are empty, at which point you're going to come over here and grab a new shovel. And he's out of power. Okay. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now go. Alright, so the new robot, Mark 1-48, I'm not going to put in the Lumberjacks currently. I mean, he'll eventually be part of the Lumberjacks crew, but for right now, what I want him to do is just to fill in the holes, but those aren't going to be his standard job or his forever job, for lack of a better term. I'm probably going to have him be gathering and then planting tree seeds, which is the next step in this process. So it's basically somebody, well, the stumps, once stumps get dug, they leave a hole, so I don't need somebody to redig holes. So basically, somebody chops down a tree, someone else then digs up the stump, leaving the hole, and a third person comes in and plants a tree seed in said hole, and that would start growing the tree. Once the tree's fully grown, the first guy comes in and chops it back down. That's the basic cycle of the wood industry, and then somebody else needs to collect the logs, dump them over here. Somebody else needs to gather the tree seeds, dump them somewhere else. Same with sticks and various other things. Now I do have somebody whacking, or at least he's supposed to be whacking, a whole bunch of trees in this area just to get extra sticks and tree seeds and whatnot. At least I think he's supposed to be doing that. There's like a whole bunch of robots just powered down right in this main thoroughfare. So yeah, once all the stumps are dug up and all the holes are, well, redug, then I'm going to readjust everybody's focus. And I just realized he's filling in all the holes, but there's no one to dig in the new holes. So I guess he is going to have another job between this one and his new forever job. In fact, I might have them both do that. Except that would mess up this guy's program, and I want his programming to stay the same. In the meantime, let's make the fourth and final bot for here. Oh, for this pile, I still have this pile of stuff to worry about. I mean, I don't have to worry about it. I could probably just dump the parts back in. I say that when I look at the storage facilities and I only have space for 2 more. I got enough robots parts just lying around to build 4. Alright, you go there. Now, I don't quite know what I'm going to have you do. Of course I know. Of course I know what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you record. You're going to come over here. I'm going to grab this log in this 17 by 17 area, because the gathering robots always have 1 square extra than the producing, manufacturing, agriculture robots, because some stuff, like say this log, will fall outside of the standard field area. So the gatherers have 1 square around that to pick up any loose stuff that falls slightly out of bounds. So I'm going to have you do that until hands full. I actually don't know if they can carry more than 1 log. I don't actually think they can. You're going to come over here, all the way over here. Now what I should do is actually have another log storage for this guy to drop off the log, and probably technically these guys to drop off the logs, and then have logicians come from their repositories and drop them off here. So that way the Woodcutters Guild have their own supply. So once that's all done, you're going to do that until hands empty, and you're going to do all of that forever. Now go. Don't I have spare? Say, do I have spare log storage? Could have sworn that I did. Because I had 2 here, and I moved one over here for the maternity wardens. Of course, I need 1 log, 3 planks, and 2 poles to build these things. Of course, I happen to have logs right here. Of course, I am also out of planks and poles, so... Basic chopping block. So I'm just going to temporarily just make everything locally. Use my old axe because it's basically broken. Let's go back and grab a new one. Stick that in the backpack. So I'm going to need 3 planks per thing, 3 things. So I'm going to need 9 planks, and they come in pairs. I'm going to need 2 extra logs to build this. Alright, so it looks like he's dug up all the stumps. This is good. Alright, once he gets back, I'm going to have him stop. That way he's not taking all the logs that I'm using to basically build this thing with. I just realized I'm going to need more planks to build poles. So that's what? 4 planks right there. I need 2 poles, and it's 2 poles per plank. I'm going to need 6 poles, so that means 3 extra planks, so 12 planks, so I'm going to need 6 logs. That should be 4? Okay, so 1-48 is now done. There are no more holes for him to fill in. So what I need him to do is I need him to stop, and I need him to record. So rather than doing this stuff, what I need you to do is, rather than fill in the holes, I need you to start digging them. You need to do it in this 15 by 15 area, but it can't be the full area. So I'm going to need to do alternating? Yeah, alternating. So that's basically what this setup is. So basically every spot from every other spot from every spot he's dug will be a new hole. So I need him to basically do that until his hands are empty. Then of course he goes back and gets a new shovel. Now go. Be 9, so that should be all the planks that I need. So there should be 3 left here. Yeah. I need to make these poles. And he's running low on power. There we go. 1 log storage, all sourced pretty much locally. Not pretty much locally, it was sourced locally. Everything from here came from here. Alright, so what I need you to do is, rather than move to log storage 3, what I need you to do is find the nearest log, but rather than pull it from here, well, take it up to here, you're dropping it off here. Now go. That way he doesn't have to travel all that far. Now what I should technically do is actually move this. Can't move it because I'm in the way. But what I should technically do that was weird. Move structure. Oh, hang on. Need you to move this structure 1 square forward. So that way, because I will eventually have a recharging robot here, and the recharging robot will be 17 in a 17 by 17 area. So this square where he drops it off should be within the recharging areas, or what will eventually be the recharging area robot's area of influence. Alright, and I should basically build another log storage up here for these guys. I should. I should also get a logician up and running, and somebody's out of power. It's a bot drive. I mean, the other bot's still working at it. They are producing resources, like the logs and the like, but everybody's burning through them as fast as they can. That's why I'm building this one. Alright, so I am going to need another robot. Alright, so what I need you to do, Mark 1-50, is you're going to come over here. Get rid of that. You're going to take from log storage 9. You're going to drop it off at log storage 3. It's log storage 1 and 2. Storage 6. I guess it's counting each one. So like log storage 1, 2, and 3 are right here. 4, 5, and 6 are right here. 7, 8, and 9 are right here. That sort of thing. Alright, so you will do this until hands empty. No, you will do this until hands full. You will do this until hands empty, even though it's basically one log at a time, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to do all of that forever. Now go. Alright, and he has no move order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record. We're going to go over here. Get rid of this and add this here. Now go. Alright, so that should get the logs from here, all 9 of them, and put them here. Which means up until I get this one area running, all the logs will be heading up north. Which means I won't have spare logs to build the log storage for this area. So they're just going to have to feed directly for there and there for now. Which, it's all going to end up in log storage 1, 2, and 3 anyways. Why am I holding a log? Where am I? Oh, there I am. Just dump that back in here. Alright, somebody's out of power. Again. There's like just 90 bajillion pumpkins just flying around all over the place. Running low on loose weeds, as kind of expected. Alright, so I'm going to need a recharging bot for these guys, probably too. Because eventually the recharging robot will run out, but I need planks for that, and I don't have planks. Well, I do have planks, it's just planks are feeding, well, pretty much everywhere, and pole store, and pole construction. Of course, I do have these spare trees that no one's watching. So if I pile these over here, I'm going to move this guy up here real quick. Just because I seem to be just dumping the logs off right here. Alright, so now you're going to be making poles or planks out of all these logs that I just gathered over here. Just lather, rinse, repeat until I get 12 planks. Plop one right here, grab these other 3, go back over here, turn these 3 planks into poles. And technically I do have this chopping block right here I could have basically used instead of building a new one. But I forgot about it, so moot point. Not certain why I'm moving the poles. I'm gonna need this thing right now. So, and then from there, get 3. Alright, now that's built. I move this, because it doesn't actually have anything in it. To move all 3 all one at a time. Plop you there. Put you on top. And put you on top of that one. Okay, so of the lumberjacks, who is hauling the logs of the marked zeros? So I need you to stop real quick. I need you to record. These 2 go away. Because I really should have them until log storage 30. It's pallet 30. Alright, alright, I need a log. Stop real quick. He's no longer gathering logs, then no, he is still gathering logs. This is my log. Alright, so what I need you to do drop these off in log storage 12. Alright, so that reorganizes him to that one. That's stick storage. Alright, so 52 is also picking up logs. So I have him stop real quick, grab a log right here, rather record, rather than going to log storage 3, going to go over here and drop them off at log storage 12. And you're going to do this until question mark filled, question mark being log storage 12. And then you're going to do that forever. Now go. Alright, so now the logs from the first lumberjack yard should be collecting. Rather than being dumped off here, they go here. Which means I need another robot to take them from here to there. And that is the wrong facility to do that with. Well, for the same reason, I have separate storage bins for the cook areas, even though berries are like right next door. So in case I ever have to move this area, the guy hauling stuff from the production area doesn't have to walk halfway across the map, and I just have one dedicated robot just to do that. It's just, I didn't come up with that idea until like last episode, 2 episodes ago, and this was literally the first industry I actually ever built, so... If any organization, well, if any group has outdated and abandoned code, it's going to be the original Lumberjacks. Alright, so I need what you to do. You're gonna come over here. I'm gonna take a log from 12 and dump it off into 3. And do all of this until question mark is filled. Question mark being log storage 3. I'm going to do all of that. Look, I was going to have him do an extra step here. You know what? Let's get rid of these real quick. Do this until hands full. Going to do this one until hands empty. Going to do all of this until question mark is filled, question mark being this guy. And then you're going to do all of that forever. It's probably a more complex code than I really need for this guy to do. But in case I ever actually figure out how to just simply copy the code back and forth, and I have the ability to build a robot which can carry 2 logs at once, this will be helpful. So we're just going to have you do that, and you are now a logician. Where are the logicians? There we are. Logicians up here. In fact, I should probably have the other guy hauling logs from the other place. Mark 50. Have you stop. Have you record. Do this until question mark is filled. Question mark being this one. You're going to do that forever, so that way the code's the exact same. You're going to go. I'm going to put you back into the logicians. You're right there. And he is done digging all of his holes. Okay, good. Which means I can move to the next step. Sort of, kinda ish, probably not really. Because the next step is tree planting. And to plant the trees, I'm going to need tree seeds. And for tree seeds, I'm going to need a storage crate. Alright, so he's finished. The robot that I have building crates is done building this stack of crates. So, where is he? Okay, so I need you to record, and you are going to move your blueprint from this area to over here. Make this slightly smaller. Just in case. I mean, it's the only blueprint in this area, so it shouldn't really matter. So he's going to be building this. In the meantime, right. Stop. Empty hands. Now go. And these guys are out of power again. will get recharged eventually. Meantime, grab all these spare tree seeds. And just dump them right here for one quick second. Alright, so 49 is hauling logs. So question mark. This guy is filled. No, actually, don't do that. Do that until this one is filled. Do all that forever. Now go. I'll get the code straightened out eventually. I was going to need stick storage for here, aren't I? Alright, one problem at a time. So in the meantime, where is 38? Okay. So 38 is digging holes. You're building things. I move the others to the lumberjacks, so I'm going to need you to change out your area real quick, so that's weird. Why isn't it letting me change? I mean, here it's alternating. Yeah, he's the one digging up stumps. Weird. Oh well. In the meantime, what was that? Oh, we researched pottery technology. So I have basically a whole bunch of lawn gnomes. They're going to be not all that useful. I also get clay pod, a crude kiln, a crude clay station. You unlocked a new level of research. Goody. So I get shelter technology, or I guess I get level 3 technology now, so I get waste technology, animal breeding technology. Well, I don't get access to these technologies. I can research them, including better forestry. That could come in useful eventually. New farming, new beekeeping, construction, better lumber, transportation, all that fun stuff, as well as leisure technology. But for right now, I should focus more on the level 2 structures for right now. I'm going to avoid robotics technology for right now to get another level of bots, because I'm having trouble keeping track of the robots I have, and I only have 2 generations. Can't imagine how crazy it's going to be when I add in a 3rd. So for right now, let us actually focus... Let's actually focus on better log shelter technology. So... Why am I hauling a robot? You stay put. Alright, okay, out of logs, so chop down another tree. Of course, I say that when I have like 36 logs just sitting right here. Alright, take this with us. Just drop it over here real quick. And I now have new shiny tech. Somewhere. Oh, it's over here. So I need 3 clay to build a crude kiln and a crude clay. Okay, so I can't even get the crude clay station because I need square frames and panels, which I actually don't have researched yet. So I probably will actually need to do structures next. Basic floor and wall structure parts. Yeah, let's actually do structures next, which means I need a pole. I should have plenty of poles. Yeah, poles is the one thing that I'm not needing for multiple things, so... I say that when I'm fairly certain it is probably used for multiple things, and the apple men are out of power. Alright, so he should start working on that. Go rewind you guys. Alright, so where was... 48 was this guy. So I'm going to have you stop. Have you record. I'm going to have you actually empty your hands. In fact, I'm going to empty my hands. Just get rid of that. Get rid of all of these things. So I'm going to have you pick up a tree seed. I'll have you plant a tree seed. Well, this is going to be alternating. It's going to be 15 by 15 area. Basically the spot that we have. And I'm also going to need you to come over here and grab a tree seed. So I basically did all this backwards. Now, I'm eventually going to have to change this, but for now, because I have a plank shortage, we're going to do this until hand's full. We're going to do this until hand's empty. And we're going to do all of this forever. Now go. So now he should be bringing tree seeds over, and then plopping them all in here. I'm gonna dump these spare tree seeds in there so that way they get collected. That way, once these trees starts growing, they'll eventually be chopped down by the lumberjack, which will then eventually be, the stumps will eventually be dug back up by the guy hauling the shovel, using the shovel, once I reprogram him to his new field. And you are now a member of the lumberjacks. Congratulations. In the meantime, how much health is left on the shovel? Yeah, somewhat. Shove you back there. Don't know if that actually does anything. Alright, so in the meantime, you want to record. So you're going to find the nearest tree stump because it won't let me change the area, his old area, for some strange reason. This new area, this all goes away. This new area also can't get changed. It's weird. You know what? I think he's just actually digging holes. He's not looking for the guy digging up the stumps here. Isn't actually looking for stumps. He's just in an alternating pattern digging up holes, and that just happens to be where the stumps are. Well, in that case, we're good. Go. And there's already a stump for him to dig up. Yeah, so I think it's Mark 0, Mark 2. Yeah, it's nearest soil. Move to soil, use spade. Place shovel. So he's not actually looking for stumps, he's just digging holes. It's just the stumps happen to be in the way. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he isn't even in an alternating pattern. Alright, so I'm basically going to have them, this new robot do the exact same thing as the other robot, which is to basically gather tree seed storage until hands full, plant tree seeds until, well, hands empty. In this 15 by 15 area. I'm going to do that until hands empty, and do all of that forever. Now go. And hopefully that'll help plant this area. It's like an egg right here. It's weird. Like random stuff just sitting all around. He's still waiting on planks. No, don't grab a axe. Grab a recharge this guy and then recharge this guy. Alright, so there is a surplus of logs right here. Just not at this one because they're being grabbed as quickly as they're being hauled in. I wonder if that means I should have an extra robot hauling logs. I do have enough parts. I do have enough parts to build an infinite number of robots. Who am I trying to get? Well, maybe not an infinite number of robots. I'm sure there's a maximum total number of robots that I can have. You know, before the game implodes onto itself. And so what I need you to do is you're going to come over here. I'm going to grab a log. Put that down. You're going to come over here. You're going to take a log. You're going to do this until your hands are full. Why I keep doing this? Because I feel like it. You're going to come over here. You're going to drop off the log. You're going to do this until hands empty. You're going to do all of this until this question mark is filled, and you're going to do all of that forever. now go. 1-53 is now a member of the logicians. The logicians' numbers increase. Alright, so in the meantime, what do I need for the crude mixing pot? Well, to upgrade to the cooking pot. Because I can't apparently upgrade it while these are being used, so. Well, I need 6 planks, of which I actually have spare planks in storage now. That's interesting. Probably won't for long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 3 of these logs before they all get grabbed. I'm also going to grab a pole, which is actually been maxed out now. And he's just pulling away, isn't he? I mean, it's full now, so. Meantime, ball goes there, and let's actually move this closer so I don't have to walk as far. Alright, so what do I need to upgrade you? So if we click upgrade, I need 4 clay, 4 sticks, and a crude torch. Okay. I mean, I got sticks. Don't quite remember how to build torches, though. Alright, I'm assuming I need a pickaxe to grab more clay. You know what, let's drop the axe, because I don't think I'm going to need the axe. That's the scythe, that's the hoe, that's a flail. What do you guys use? Yeah, pickaxe. Where's my pickaxe? Oh, there we are. Alright, I need 4 clay. I'm assuming you use a pickaxe to get clay. If not, this is going to be a learning experience. Apparently you don't use a pickaxe to get clay. Okay. Alright, so off to the Autonautopedia. And I need... Where are resources? Vehicles, wildlife, culture, education. Health, leisure, parts. Here we go, clay. I need a shovel. What was that? Alright, so I'm just going to need to dig up 3 clay. Because this one was already just sitting there. And we take all this and just dump them off here. I need a crude torch, and I can't for the life of me remember how to build a crude torch, but apparently I need 1 stick and 4 straw. Which means I now actually, well, I've had a slightly need for straw now, even though I haven't since I built the wheat farm. This is a good thing I had it set to the crude torch. that here. Gets me one crude cooking pot, which means I have the cooking plan finished. Which gets me the apron, clothing, and the chef's hat. I also get a new commemorative slab added to the totem pole. So there's that. And what can I make with this? I can make mushroom soup, stewed berries, stewed apples, fish soup, pumpkin soup, shisho, the type of sushi I can't pronounce, herb mushroom, okay, so basically the same stuff as before, although I added extra carrot stir fry and creamy porridge. So everything that the mixing pot could make, as well as extra. And it looks like that the new recipes not only require clay pots, but they also give level 3 WUV, which I'm assuming is either 20 extra WUV points or 100 WUV points. But in order to make any of that, I need clay pots, which I don't have the ability to make just yet, because for that I believe I need the kiln, which I just haven't built yet. And where is... So the crude kiln requires 5 things of clay. You know what? Wrong button. I'm going to build a robot. Yes, I know. Shocking surprise. I'm going to rewind you, and they actually... I'm going to need a rewinder for these guys. And now all of log storage is completely empty. I need a rewinder for all of these guys as well, aren't I? What are you doing? Oh, he's making crude energy upgrades. Okay. Stuff. I need stuff and things and stuff and things. Need a new robot. Alright, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna grab a new shovel. In fact, that's your shovel right there. You're then going to come over here and you're going to mine clay. Clay deposit really isn't all that big, so 5x5 area will be fine. So you're going to do this till hands empty. And you're going to go pick up go to crude spade storage and pick up a new spade. And do all of that forever. Now go. Grab this, plop you here. I'm probably going to need to upgrade the... Apparently I cut 2,000 cereal crops as well. That's interesting. But as I was saying, I'm apparently going to need to get better shovels at some point, because this is probably going to be taking forever, although it's already got one down. Just rewind the guy making, or cutting down the trees. Rewind you. Should get a recharging bot just for like this main thoroughfare. It's like everybody seems to be running out of power in this general vicinity. Alright, so that gets the kiln. So, to make all the various lawn gnomes, I need basic lawn gnomes. And to get the raw lawn gnome, I actually don't know how to get the raw lawn gnome. But I can actually get the clay pot. I need the clay pot raw in order to make the clay pot. So there's a step here that I'm missing, which I'm guessing requires the crude clay station to build. Which means I need panels and square frames. Really? Something that small? Rocks have health now? I guess the most basic cutting tool is to hit something with a rock. So, check the Autonautopedia again. Where are its window frames, ranks, pegs, box frame, square frame? So I need to build that at a structural workbench using poles and fixing pegs. I'm guessing if I look at research, construction technology doesn't get me that. Axle, crank, and good gear. Where is... Alright, so I'm thinking I'm having him research the wrong thing. Do you already have it? Just gets me the torch. Just gets me breeding plants. Here we go, square frame and panel. So I need structural parts as well as fixed pigs. So I am researching the correct thing. Okay. So as soon as the current research is done, which he's actually pretty far along on. It's interesting. But as soon as this is done, I'll be able to build the remaining parts I need for the crude clay station, which means I should be able to get at least turn the clay into various raw goods, which then get turned into the sent into the kiln to be made into actual goods, basically clay bowls. And the clay bowls then will be used for the cooking purposes, so which would allow me to make upgraded food once I get around to upgrading these things. And which should get me more wood faster, which should increase the ability to research things faster. But that doesn't really solve the issue of well, the issue of supply with the weed farm.
Don't read too much into that.
The issues with, I would say the pumpkins, but pumpkins are back and forth in terms of flow. Mushrooms, I think, is just simply a logistical issue. And I got plenty of mushrooms just lying around, so I need to look into their programming. Same with the berrymen. Well, maybe not the berrymen. I got berries all over the place. Berries is probably one of the few things I don't have a maximum mass supply of everywhere. So I also need to finish the maternity wardens, to get the variant parts up and built, so that way I can have an easy to distinguish bot for recharging purposes. So that way when the recharger dies, I know which one to look for. But all of that is going to be another issue for another day, because I'm going to call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.